very, very concerned with how this lane is going to shape up. I think you might have a decent time in the first couple of minutes, but I think very shortly the Void will be shoved into the jungle. This is a hero that does not like to be put into the jungle at the early stage. Yes, they went for their comfort, but I think Vici just going to be able to up the tempo way too fast in a game like this for Poke to be able to handle.
I think the first 5 will be fine for the Faceless Void, and if it gets to like Void being level 20 and you haven't lost a Rax, then I'm giving Poke a chance, just because I feel like this Void is great against the Lina, the Pango, the Broodmother, if you're able to find the picks. My big issue is that you're going to be pushed out of the lane, right? Like, that's just a foregone conclusion against this Broodmother. You don't have an overwhelmingly strong lane against it, so she's not going to get crushed. And you've got an off-lane Tusk. You don't have any pushing heroes for the top side of the map, so I feel like you're going to have a very difficult time in taking this tier 1 tower top and giving the Faceless Void somewhere to go.
Well, and they're also going to give first blood over to Setsu, so I know we were speaking a lot about kind of the Pango Ember. I'm kind of in agreement with you. I know the Embers do like to be picked into the Pango. I think maybe a bit of a reason why we saw the draft of it this game is just maybe the AoE control that they were lacking on Vici and Initiator as well. And that's kind of where the Pango can come into play. And well, now giving him first blood will make his time a little bit more easier in this laning phase for small KK, who had a pretty good game 1. Like, I was quite impressed with his Leshrac performance, all things considering, until of course those kind of items came out to heavily counter him. So we'll see if he's going to have a good time this game on the Ember.
Yes, we will. I mean, last game, he had the first blood to be able to play off of, right? And despite that, Setsu still came out of the laning stage slightly ahead. So now that the script has been flipped, and small KK's having to fight up into the first blood Pangolier, who I believe already has a bottle coming out to him, I'm not sure it's going to be quite so good. But we'll see. He's a very skilled player, KK.
We already see top lane, some shenanigans going on with Yang and Eren. They're looking to kind of meet each other.
Fight in the river.
A nice little dance in the river. Why not? Love and life, soul experience, free farming. I know you, Danog, are not a big fan of the off-lane Tusk. Can we maybe talk through the potential reasoning of why they put it on a 3 this game, as we do see Yang in a little bit of trouble. LSA will connect onto 2, and Erica's going to be able to get a decent amount of damage on the higher ground, but Poke will still pursue up. The shards holding Yang into place, but it's going to be Vici Gaming that get the kill first. No, Erica might even find the double.
Kill.
Whenever need the LSA, well, actually we'll use it afterwards with a Fairy Fire. Give him a little bit of health back, forcing Erica to try and go for the spell cast. Bottom lane, FY, almost getting chased down as well. That second, so the level 2 going into the time dilation was not enough to get the kill onto FY's Hoodwink.
See, that's what a great efficiency player Erica is, right? It's not enough that he gets the second kill as well, but also just wastes a 70 gold item in that Fairy Fire. And all it costs him is a little bit of mana. He's almost back at full anyway. Use the light strike array, so not anymore. In terms of justification for why they went this Tusk as a position 3 this game, I mean, he's going into the Orb of Corrosion. Not sure if that's the way that I would be going for it, because probably you could think that Ember might look to do that, unless Ember's just going to straight up rush the Maelstrom. But I think you just wanted someone to get a really early Blink Dagger, and again, to be able to close in on, honestly, any of these 3 cores, right? Lina, Pango, Broodmother. They are kind of squishy if you could just get onto them and chain stun them. But you can't do that unless you've got the Blink Dagger available. So I really want to see Killer emphasizing that for himself this game.
Do you feel like maybe the Ember can kind of fulfill that jump-in role?
But he doesn't give a stun though, right? Like, you're still able to turn around and get a light strike array off, or you're still able to, for example, pop your hood that you might have at that time on you. Okay. You know, all these little things, you can Greaves it off, so it needs to be a stun.
Erica might be in a little bit of trouble here. Killer has that second point of the tag team, and the shards as well to block the escape avenue. Poke, they find a big kill onto the position 1 from Vici Gaming.
This is what we were expecting, though. It is a very strong lane, this Snap Tusk. So many repositioning options for them. Not just the Snowball, but the Cookie as well, as another kill all around. Fu down on the bottom side of the map, and I mean, I was saying that the lane probably will go relatively decent for the Faceless Void, but clearly not. CM already dying the 3 times so far in the first 4 minutes.
You're up at 3 deaths before the 4-minute mark on a hero like a Crystal Maiden. You start to wonder how many deaths you're going to have as the game goes on.
Maybe they just need to be a bit more proactive with clearing out these trees as well. Make sure that FY needs to commit both the Bushwhack and the Acorn Shot to be able to pick up kills. It might mean that he has to invest a little bit more gold into the Mangoes rather than just being able to freely cast one of the 2 spells.
Lane Erica should not be able to get some revenge, although these right clicks are doing a lot of damage at the early stage. So
That's
decent trade in the
for
end.
you.
Back to bottom lane we go as Renfu. Will be chased down while this is going on though. Renfu's getting a decent amount of damage into FY's Hoodwink. With the Bushwhack being on cooldown for too long of a duration, there'll be no way for them to hold back the Faceless Void. So, Poke, they get some nice little revenge down bottom, but this will give New some time to get some solo experience, which is much needed for the level 3 Broodmother.
Nice value Sentry Ward, though, placed down by Ranfu, both clearing out the one that was protecting the hard camp, as well as giving the small camp a chance to spawn.
Lane, are they trying to catch small KK off guard? They'll get the refill in the bottle and even find the Bushwhack as well, so look at the double value that's coming out from this TP from FY. That's perfect.
It's kind of like what we expected, right? Using his great individual skill on Setsu, plus that first blood, he's already built himself up a 500 net worth lead over the Ember Spirit this early on. So taking what's typically seen as a pretty decent laning matchup and turning it on its head.
See, they might be able to get Aaron as well. Setsu has a Rolling Thunder to work with. First use of it of the game. He's going to go for the long drive-by. With that U-turn, we'll be able to connect. It might be in some trouble, though, but still Ember not playing with the level 6, so can't look to play too aggressively. Simultaneously, though, got to kill up top lane, but the Snapfire leaving the Tusk alone. And that he was vulnerable to the double heroes from Vici Gaming, so they're getting so much out of the map, and they're even going to get a regen for Setsu. Oh, no.
Far too much out of this lane. And yeah, I mean, Vici, they're a team that punishes even the smallest of mistakes, right? Not that it was necessarily a mistake to try and protect your mid laner like that, but, Aaron comes mid and they exploit the opening that's available to be able to take out this Tusk, because they know how big of a role Killer's going to play in being able to, like I was saying before, get in onto these squishy-ish cores in the early game. So if you could just delay that timing of the phase boots into the Blink Dagger, then you're going to be laughing.
You're going to make another attempt on Ember? He's got to be cautious if he plays next to the tree line. FY always ready to try and drop that Bushwhack. I think the damage is going to be the thing in question. Setsu didn't have the swashbuckle up as well to go for the kill, so they are continuing to put a lot of pressure on, and it's scary because Killer is already soloing this bottom lane. He's about to hit level 6 as well, so as soon as he gets that, this lane is unplayable. And honestly, I'd like to see FY come back to bottom pretty shortly, because you've got this catapult wave. You could potentially get a kill and then into the tower.
Still a couple of seconds left on the time walk. He's got the magic stick to be able to play around with, but that's the plus of just dealing a lot of this. Not amazing high damage, but it's slow, it's steady.
He's getting dived onto the tower. The boy's going to come to protect him. Panka will attempt the TPs. Are going to be fast enough to keep Erica alive. The LSA is on the mark, and Erica will still go down, though, but Vici Gaming, they'll make this a worthwhile trade in the end as water rotation out of Setsu. Already a dominating streak for the Pangolier at 8 minutes into the game.
Poor Aaron, though, he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. He was moving left, moving right to this clockwork and not wanting to get close to Setsu's Pangolier either. And they have addressed the Lena, sure, but she's already got the Javelin. She picked it up. She made sure that she didn't waste a lot of that unreliable gold. She's 2, 2, and 3, so getting a lot of that assist gold for herself as well. I mean, Setsu is just playing incredibly well so far this game. He had a good game number 1. It was certainly a candidate for MVP as well, but that was a game which was just tailor-made for a puck. This time around, not the easiest Pango game, but Setsu is having a great time.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Even there's that another power rune for him to work with, and with all the chaos going on across the map, free T1 tower is going to be claimed down bottom for New. So all of a sudden, your map is just going to continue to shrink now that this Broodmother can look to invade into the jungle, and she'll do just that. Scouting out Ranfu, she'll let the spiders do the work. This is pretty much this is no one's home. Like, who actually plays here? It's pretty much only the Ember, right?
it's news home. It's what it is. You know, there's nothing really that they can look to do on Poke's side. And again, this is the big weakness that I was talking about with that draft, that they just don't have anyone to be able to take this to try and equalize. Most of the time, you know that a Brood's not going to show up to these team fights, but look at what she's doing now. This is 9 minutes, and you're already having to pop a glyph to save a tier 2.
I think this is really the big difference we see coming up from both sides with this drafting, where Vici, of course, having the first pick overall, and they protect the Broodmother with the Naga Siren ban, where we didn't see Poke do that. And then we saw it just get it too late into the draft, where Poke didn't pick up their carry to address the Broodmother. Like, you go for this Faceless Void, yes, it's going to be a really good matchup versus Alina at the late stages, but...
You got to get there.
You got to get there, and it really feels like right now, this Brood plays very similar to the Beastmaster. I think Beastmaster is a little bit better in the lane versus the Void, as I'll hold that kind of train of thought as mid. Then Fur's maybe looking for is that first use of the Chrono of the game. Let's see if they're going to have enough damage onto Setsu. He's chasing deeper under the tower, but the LSA, Erica can just turn and get the right clicks going, pummeling into the task, because Killer's going to go down, and Setsu, well, they didn't even kill him. They didn't even bring down with the Pangolier. It got the Rolling Thunder off at the last second. They'll close the distance onto Ranfu, onto Snapfire as well, as all a Poke, their corpses littering the deck.
I like the idea. You got to control this Pangolier somewhat, but if the end result means that Eric is able to turn around, did he get the triple kill or was it Setsu? I think Setsu did. It's just way too much to have to deal with. You've already got a Broodmother who's now taken your tier 2 bottom. You're going to lose your mid tier 1 as well. Like, this is 10 minutes in.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, God. That LSA. The fact that he was able to stay alive as well.
Love Erica turning up to that fight, realizing how important it is for them to get that turnaround, not give them any options to be able to come back into this game. A lot of laners might have just sat back and been a bit greedy with their far, realizing that, okay, well, you know, I'm the win condition, blah, 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 but you know, with how well the lanes have gone, I feel like you can lean on the back of Setsu as well as you to put enough pressure on the map that you don't need to leave everything to yourself.
What is she doing? Don't let him deny himself. Oh my God. It's too close for comfort. Now the boys are even trying to put some pressure on as well. As this is kind of the thing that they have on Vici Gaming. Look at the Poke. Just the bushback from afar. The use of the Spiderlings, even the Spawn Spider, the Swashbuckle. Like, they are just going to play this long distance game where they're going to toy with Poke. It's going to be so frustrating.
Yeah, it's certainly not easy. Oof. You know it's not great when an Ember Spirit's going into a Blade Mail as one of his items.
Oh.
Not excited. Oh, okay, he dodged out the Laguna Blade. At least he's saving himself a little bit of pain there, but yeah, I'm not really seeing the value out of this. You know, you pick the Ember, I feel like you need the Mail Strip to be able to address the Broodmother, because without this, they've got actually 0 answers to Brood. Something needs to clear out these Spiderlings.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay,
Yang die again, though.
The boy's coming. Oh, they should be able to get the kill onto Yang fast enough. And nice attempt, but unfortunately the creep's going to be the issue there. Setsu will still lock onto his target with the Rolling Thunder. So Killer, we're looking to play around close to the wall to make it difficult for Setsu, but he's more than comfortable in the Pangolier, and now even FY. He's got the finishing blow onto Eren. Sharpshooter's already been used. They might just look for Lenfer instead. Bushwhack up in a couple of seconds. Do they want to go for this though? Very hesitant about going deep under the T1 tower. So Setsu, no, he'll just look to avoid the Faceless Void and go for the supporting cast. Already a godlike streak. This is a huge kill if they can find it. Even dropping the Chronosphere to help get it. Bushwhack on cooldown. Not going to be able to act as a deterrent, but Setsu won't even die again, man.
Ooh, got him.
And now he's showing up. He's like, all right, I see a fight's going on. Why not look to get involved? Why not get some rewards?
Does anyone need a mech?
No, well, there's a mech. There's some health. There's some golden experience as well of Vici Gaming. What's the probability? Oh.
I'd say worse than that, to be honest. 8% is very generous to give Poke for this one. It just doesn't seem like there's an avenue. I mean, Yang's nearly got more net worth than Faceless Void. That's the state of the game that we're in. Pos 5 versus Pos 1.
Yang. Oh, again.
Yang Gang.
At least he's going to be able to hold Killer into place. Sharpshooter for the... Nice snowboard dodge. Look at the kill onto Mr. Yang. All this going on, though. you kind of have a big leader issue as well.
Yeah, Erica hasn't really joined these past couple of fights, has she? And
No.
she's still got a Gleipnir as well, saying, you know what, Boots of Travel, who needs it? BKB, not a concern. They've got bigger fish to fry than me, and, well, if they forget about me, then we're just going to lock them all place. Look at these damn spiders infesting through the Radiant side of the map, giving no place for Longfair to be able to farm.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Poke. They're going to try and look for smoke to see who they can catch off guard, but it's only FY that's showing his position. Tries to play around with the sharpshooter, but will be able to close the distance before he can get that little pogo away. But Vici, they still want to try and hit back. Setsu in combination with New, they're going to jump over the cliff line, targeting down the Crystal Maiden. And now Setsu can go for the bounce back, even catching up to the Snapfire as well. Look at the burst from the Pango. Beyond cold, like pre-15 minutes, and they're even going to try and reap the rewards now, pushing the Ember away and getting some damage into the T2 tower.
Radiant's middle tower.
Speaking of Setsu, this is something that we saw when he played the Ember Spirit in that series against Outsiders. He just wasn't addressed, and so he was free to make a lot of havoc. And just little things like New just did, right? Forcing him to use a Remnant to retreat back a little bit further into the base means that you're not going to be making an aggressive play. You're not going to have that same capability.
Playing Lonfer's in trouble. Only level 2 in Time Walk, so it's still on cooldown. And Erica's got a goddamn Gleipnir. Well, there we go. Easy way to catch up. Might turn it around to get the kill into Yang. Let's see how the Mortar of Kisses usage is going to be. With the chains, it'll kind of make it that much easier for them to land the glob. So a 1-for-1, but of course that is your position 1 going down in exchange for Yang's position 5. I'm sure the Clockwork is more than happy with that.
I'm trying to think of what they, like, Killer's item progression has been pretty non-existent for the last little bit. They just use the Mortimer's Kisses. Will they still have enough damage to be able to take him out? Looks like
Alright, they will, but I mean, Setsu, even though they get the kill into the Broodmother, Setsu's just going to put so much damage into the middle of the fight, lines up the Swashbuckle onto 2, and for he's forced to just drop the Chrono onto 1, and he might not even have the damage. Gets the kill, but it comes at the cost of his own life, and at the stage of this game, you just can't be making those trades.
Nope. And Erica's got the double damage as well, so straight into Roche. This is going to die pretty fast, and I mean, you were having a hard time killing him before. I wonder if they're even going to give this one over to Setsu, or if it's just going to be Erica taking it without that BKB just yet, just to be able to provide the capabilities for the team to help. I mean, Brood would have lived as well if it was another 5 seconds. His Guardian Greaves was barely off cooldown.
Doing a pretty good job to use his kind of the creep wave to body block maybe an angle from Yang. Flame Guard's going to be able to absorb a lot of the damage from Erica as well. They'll turn to the clock. Yang's okay for the move. How's that going to Remnant in? A beautiful cookie from Aaron. He can set them up for the follow-up. Gotta be cautious though with the sharpshooter turnaround, but the Ember's falling lower and they'll get the kill as Erica. He stands strong. They won't even be able to bring her down. Just the damage isn't there. They don't have the numbers as well to succeed in a team fight, and we are getting to the stage where this might be a couple of G's getting dropped.
You know, anytime that the number of minutes and the net worth lead is pretty similar, that's always a cause for concern. And, well, it typically doesn't happen before the 20-minute mark as well. Should look to probably go in their favor after they take out this which it will. I mean, they could potentially look to go up onto the high ground. You still didn't even claim the Aegis off of that aggressive attempt. I just look to push in the mid lane to make an absolute sure thing of it, but I'm struggling to find any kind of avenue for them to come back into this game. There's a reason that the Brood and the Lina are first phase bans a lot of the time, and, well, Vici is showing them why.
Radiant's top
Look
tower.
at Setsu. Anyone shows he might just commit with the Rolling Thunder.
Wait a
No,
minute,
a jump
wait a
in.
minute.
Off the walls, they bounce back on. Aaron's going to end up going down. New might be in some trouble. Greaves going to get some distance away, but they're just baiting. They're just hoping that poke come outside the base, and as soon as they do, all of Vici Gaming swarm to their location. 4 members put in the grave, and now their objectives are going to follow as well.
I mean, even if they glyph, the Spiderlings are going to soak up so many of these right clicks. So it means that the backdoor protection is just going to be primed to be able to come back up immediately. They've got Alina, who's as farmed as she needs to be able to completely rip apart this base. Like, you've lost Rax 18.5 minutes.
Radiant structures are fortified.
It's all right, boy, it's farming.
Come on, bro.
Look at Yang's net worth. Jesus
Yep.
Christ. Triple raid bam.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
I was like, alright.
It feels like this
Okay.
Tusk has been working on this Blink Dagger for 10 minutes, and he has not made any progression at all. I really wanted to see them put a little bit more emphasis onto having Killer pick this up.
You really want to take this engagement?
Nope.
No, I think you're playing with fire right now. Potential Cogs pushback won't even require it thanks to F-Fly's Boomerang. Meanwhile,
The
it's a pretty
Glogs.
decent combo. Chrono with the Mortimer Kisses, but New... Well, he's going to be able to protect them. Greaves haven't even been used yet, and
everyone
all of a
gonna live?
sudden, they just repair all of the damage that was used inside the teamfight combo of Poke. No one goes down, and honestly, they weren't
That's
even
gotta be
close
GG.
to dying as well.
Yeah. No Chrono, no Kisses, no Freezing Field. It felt like they weren't even sure of what to use the Mortimer's Kisses on. Like, hit a decent two-man Chrono, but you can't hit the Lena. She's got the Aegis, and well, they didn't.